Good day, everyone. I am Mian Sigubu, and I'm going to discuss the standard of grading. Norm or criterion reference grading. But before that, let us know first what is norm reference grading. Norm reference grading. The score compared to other students. The teacher will determine where the students belong, where the students belong their rank, if it is excellence, good, average, and so on. Grades depends on what group you are in. And also, in norm reference grading, it may use percentile rank to obtain and determine the relative standing in a norm group. For example, 15% of the students will receive a mark of excellence, which in class of 100 enrolled students will be 15%. In this example, it is norm reference grading because it may use percentile. 15% of the students. So 15% of the students might be belong in the excellence, while other may belong to average, to good, on to good, to poor, and so on. So it also norm reference grading depends on where you are ranked. Norm reference grading depends on where do you belong in rank. Where rank do you belong, rather? Next, let us know what is criterion reference. Criterion reference grading, it means that grades does not depend on what group you are in, but it only in your own standard performance. This can be what you can do, what students can do or not. In this criterion reference grading, the teacher will determine or will determine or know who are those students meet the expectation and the objectives of the curriculum. Criterion reference grading commonly used in college. For example, in class of 100 students, no one might get grade of excellent if no scores 98 or 85 above depending on the criterion used. In this example, it shows that if the students did not get 95 above or 98 above, then there's no might get a grade of excellence. If the child or might get 88 above or 90 above, then um, then the students might get grade of good. It depends the criterion used. Um, in this example of criterion reference grading, it based only on your performance standard. It only the score or grade may reflect or depends on what have you do or what have you done in your performance. Next, importance of norm and criterion reference. So norm and criterion reference are both important. It because both are applied to student performance. So both also have a perspective that provide useful information. Like in criterion reference grading, it contributes to consistency and fairness in grading, while in norm reference grading, it gives educations the ability to easily measure a student's ability and skills development. So both are important because it provides useful information. Both perspectives provide useful information, and they are all applied in student performance. Next, according to Gabuyo 2012, there are qualities desired in criterion and norm reference test that includes item difficulty, sensitivity to instruction, and number of items that needed to measure student performance. So first, let us define what is item difficulty. So item difficulty, it is the test items that affect the variability of scores. So if the students correctly answer every item, then there will be no variability in test because each students obtain the same perfect test score. So it means that it should be the item should be difficult to measure student performance. Next, sensitivity to instruction. So sensitivity to instruction should be difficult to answer before instruction and easy to answer following instruction. It means that items that are highly sensitive to instruction are tend to measure knowledge and simple facts and other skills. Next, number of items. So, number of items, more items are required in criterion than norm reference. It because criterion reference tests tend to measure to focus to more focus. It is the tend to measure more focus domain. So and usually it require more items to assess a given content domain. So it is criterion reference are so number of items are required in criterion reference to measure student performance. That's all.